In 5 years' time, what is your idea of web heaven, web hell? Like, assuming like everything goes right, everything goes wrong.
Yeah, okay, I'm going with utopian and dystopian because it feels more Blade Runner-ish.
Oh yeah, great film. Yeah.
No, it's not a good film. It's a terrible film. I don't even know why I brought it up. I don't even like the movie. I watched it. Right, you know, it's one of those movies. I'm one of these people that people go, "Oh, you've never seen that movie? You are a terrible human being."
I'm still getting past. I don't like Blade Runner.
Yeah, right. No, it does come back into that. Right, there are loads of movies where you get told that it's like a classic and a must-watch and all that. So you then go, okay, fine, all right, fine, I'll buy it. It's like $5.99 on Play, HD version, because you got to go HD, because whatever. Yeah. Of course, rules are rules.
HD,
rules are rules. And you do it, and you sit down to watch it, and you've got everything perfect. It's all set up, and you watch it, and you think, this is pathetic. This is a rubbish movie. Highlander, also terrible, with Sean Connery's. I mean, honestly, I've never heard a more abysmal Spanish accent. My name is Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez. You're not Spanish,
Stop. You're trying to say that Blade Runner is bad because Highlander is bad.
No.
That's not allowed.
I'm saying there's a principle at play here that nostalgia applies to movies. You bring it back in to your Blade Runners and you look at it and you go, that's just not a good movie. With Rutger Hauer going, walking around trying to take out Harrison Ford.
It's got Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah. Now, I'm told that I watched the wrong cut of that movie because I watched the director's
Yeah, because
cut.
you watched Highlander. Really?
No, I watched.
The worst bit about Blade Runner was the Spanish accent by Sean Connery. No.
What was that? What was that?
That was my impersonation of your impersonation of
my
Sean
impersonation
Connery's Spanish accent.
Absolutely flawless. Anyway, in any case, you come back to it and you go, Blade Runner is not a good movie. As I say, I watched the director's cut, which I thought would be the ultimate cut, the one that's worth watching. Yeah. Turns out, apparently, I watched the wrong one. Any movie that has enough cuts to have a wrong one is a movie that clearly they couldn't make good.
Star Wars.
No, they were all got better, apart from the bit where Han Solo went over the back of Jabba the Hutt's.
Yeah, come on.
But anyway, dystopian, utopian web.
Okay.
Right, let's bring that back in.
I don't know if I can trust your answer anymore.
No, flawless.
Okay.
My take on this is perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So your web dystopia, 5 years in the future, the web is a dark, horrible place because all the things that are starting to happen now have just got worse, or things that could happen now have got worse.
Okay, then every time you hit a URL, the first thing you see is a door slam. Whereas you're told to download and you can't skip past it for at least 10 seconds.
Yeah. Until you say to your phone, I promise to download the app later, it has an audio feature.
Well, no, that's the only way you get to the web experience is by forcing a download or something.
Okay.
Then the only people who can build for the web are the elite, the
Avengers.
Like the Avengers, the web Avengers, the one.
Tony Stark is the only person who can build websites.
Because the tooling has become so complex and complicated that only AI can build for the web.
Okay,
What else I think would be absolutely terrible? Everything just runs abysmally because the frameworks are so heavy and the tooling is so heavy that nothing actually runs well.
And I think there's a sort of knock-on effect of that, is that if the web dies, then you're going to see... Okay, we have a problem today with the amount of operating systems we have with mobiles. And it shouldn't be like that, because now if you want to start in the mobile space, you have to have a huge app ecosystem already, and that's not going to happen. So I think that problem gets worse if the web weakens.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting because you've got these operating systems, and what's going to naturally happen is you're going to want these apps to start communicating with each other or link to each other or in some other way be a sort of a streaming experience or something like that. And you just kind of go, that's the web. What you're trying to emulate is potentially the web.
There's XKCD about that. So imagine if an app could be dynamically loaded and there was some easy way to transfer it from one person to another. Yeah, it's the web.
It's the web.
Yeah, we've got that.
It's the web. What we need is the web to just continue to get stronger and to be a part of this overall story. I don't think it's the only part of the story. I think we disagree on that, but I do think it's one very strong and it's a pillar of modern digital worlds.
So web utopia then. 5 years time, everything's gone brilliantly.
You can answer that one because I've done the dystopia. I'm quite.
You're the downer.
Yeah, I'm the downer.
Yeah, along with like I don't like
Everything.
Blade Runner because it's
rubbish.
Highlander.
Because it's rubbish.
Yeah.
There's the plot. It took 2 hours.
Don't want to get into it.
Or whatever it was.
Don't want to get into it. Mate. 5 years time, Utopia on the web.
Utopia on the web. Go on.
Utopia on the web. 5 years time. I think we'll see the apps that you and I use today that are native will be done just on the web. Like the Twitter clients, like the Facebook clients, like whatever apps I use, Hangouts. These things can be done just through the web, and you write it once, and it is working on multiple platforms. That's the utopia, because we're getting really close there with Asm.js. This is one of the things that another browser is better at than us. So I would say, yeah, that's the utopia. Like just the web being the first answer, and native being the exception.